This is Sarah Greenleaf with the Ranch at Dovetree, and today I am talking with Rebecca Hogg with Canvas Counseling and Wellness. Rebecca's a therapist, and she's going to tell us a little bit about EMDR today and a little bit more about herself. Hey, Rebecca, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm Rebecca Hogg at Canvas Counseling and Wellness, and I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Texas, and I also provide telemental health to Floridians and some international locations as well.
Great. So I'm really interested in learning a little bit more about how you're doing EMDR right now. I know that you and I have talked in the past, and you've been actually doing EMDR virtually for a while now before all this started. So I know that some other people have kind of jumped on the bandwagon, but you've been doing this for a while. So I wanted to kind of just hear a little bit about how that's working for you and a little bit more about EMDR. So do you mind just telling us a little bit about what EMDR is?
Yeah, great question. So EMDR stands for eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing. So it's a form of therapy that helps people heal from trauma and other distressing life experiences. So I'm going to oversimplify it to understand as much as possible. So basically, when something happens in our life that feels too overwhelming for our brains and sometimes our body to make sense of the memory or the experience, it gets stuck. Is what we call it, an oversimplification. And it can keep causing us problems. And there's just something about the memory or the experience that can trigger thoughts, physical sensations as if it's happening all over again. So some people kind of relate it to REM sleep, so rapid eye movement. So when you're sleeping, dreaming, your eyes going back and forth in REM sleep helps to process things from life, from your day. And so one of the theories behind EMDR is that it does that, that it helps you to reprocess in a similar way to REM. So oftentimes when something traumatic happens, we can understand it incorrectly, just how we are perceiving it, and even sometimes making assumptions about what it says about us. And so the reprocessing part allows us to look back with the power of hindsight in a more helpful way.
Okay, so Rebecca, as far as EMDR goes, can you tell me, are there some advantages to doing it virtually as opposed to in person?
Great question. Yes. So first I want to talk about how it's effective. So I've done EMDR sessions in person as well as online. And even with just in person and online, I've had very successful sessions where clients have contacted me to let me know how helpful it was for them. Afterwards, in situations that were normally overwhelming and triggering, they noticed a big difference. So just kind of a little bit more of a background, that there's a governing organization that governs the training for EMDR, the research certification. So they were doing some research to determine, already before COVID-19 happened, to determine how effective online EMDR was. But when COVID-19 necessitated for a lot of therapists to move from in-person to online, it was really important to continue the continuity of care. So at that point, they kind of had to stop some of their research, but they had not found any evidence indicating that it was not effective, and they are fully endorsing it. And they've included multiple resources about how to do it ethically and safely. And one of the resources that is on there is actually a video that a colleague and I created that kind of walks therapists through exactly how to do EMDR online. And that was something that EMDRIA, the parent organization, really liked and asked if they could include it. And then some advantages is that clients are in their own space. And obviously now that everybody in the family is in their own space, it can be a little bit different, but some advantages are that clients are in their own space. They can access services from almost anywhere. So even if this situation wasn't happening before all of this situation, that they, if they traveled, they could still get sessions. So they also have a little bit more control and choice, which is really good for, when there's trauma, just being trauma sensitive and empowering. It can save time and money. You're not having to travel, especially for people if they're working all day and then traveling to session and then traveling home. exhausted, tired, time with kids, all those things. So it can save time and money.